From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Named for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals, there's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Takes this about 5 yards deep.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
25-yard line.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
First and 10.
On this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Joe Mixon, the ball carrier.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now, if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you scramble a little bit. Now you're behind, trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
A gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. 955. We ain't giving up nothing today. Mike 5-5. 19 tight. I'm here all day.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
At their own 45-yard line.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
But when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second level, that offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the second level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
Now making those linemen work with a couple of blocks. They look good doing it there. And a short gain down to about the 33.
Ball carrier.
On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9.
They'll run. This is Gus Edwards. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
The ball carrier brought down at the 30-yard line. A 3-yard gain on the play brings up 3rd down.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down.
On the run, here's Anthony McFarland.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
Well, a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. Yeah, he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Heck of a start. A 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage.
1-yard line.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 18 more yards there and another first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends, it might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 7-yard line.
From the 7, it's 2nd and 5.
Let's go. 2 times, 2 times. Even. 4 down. Even. He's coming.
Now Joe Mixon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are going to take a first quarter lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Bengals 7, Steelers 0.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
35-yard line.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Huntley. There he goes left side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TV. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Bengals 14, Steelers 0.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Returning it, Johnson. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 47 yards on the ground.
7 yards. 1st down, Pittsburgh.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. McFarland running out of the gun. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
To throw on 2nd down, Huntley. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Huntley. Dancing to his left. Ebron caught left side. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th.
To throw, Huntley.
He'll buy some time right. And that is going to be incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Michael Davis. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson
on the tackle.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Looking to throw on second down. Huntley escaping the pressure right. He's going to fire one. Corner of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Looks like they went for the combo plate there. A nice ample gain on the ground on the previous play. Going for the big shot on that one unsuccessfully.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
On second down, here's Mixon. He stiff arms him, and he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw.
Rolling to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. His throw incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And it'll bring up third down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. On third down, Burrow. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
12.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
I'm going back to you.
To throw again. Huntley. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Chase Claypool. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers have now made this a 1-score game. And that one makes it 14-7.
Makes the score Bengals 14. Steelers 7.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. from the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on fourth down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 29-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
Connor. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run here with McFarland. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 36-yard line.
They've got 2nd and 12 from the 36. Here's Huntley. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film section tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Off play action. Huntley. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Complete to Chase Claypool. A gain of 16 yards. First down, Steelers.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Huntley to throw. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And this is taken in at the 5. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju Smith-Schuster, 54 yards. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going, and their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. The run there on first down, going to get him 5 up to the 30.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Again, it's Mixon. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team, both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that will be incomplete.
Burrow's pass intended for Tyler Boyd. Incomplete. It's 4th down.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. They begin the drive with McFarland. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Sean Williams that time in on the stop.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
McFarland once more. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
On 1st and 10, Huntley going to take a shot for Gallup. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it, couldn't get it. And it's second down.
2nd and 10.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. And with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Huntley. Flushed out right. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, this will be McFarland. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
To throw on 2nd down. Huntley, that ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 27-yard line. A gain of 13, it's a 1st down. On 1st down, McFarland. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Shotgun handoff to Samuels. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Huntley. And down inside the 15 he goes. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
A gain of 15.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 14-yard line.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. They'll keep it on the ground. McFarland, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
A 25-yard attempt.
Badgley able to knock this one through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So Tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First and 10.
He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
They'll take over first and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
A gain of 13 yards. And
so this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Steelers, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Las Vegas Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.